For something you do a lot of, thinking is likely something you don't think a lot about. But what is a thought? And what is a thinker? The Essence of Reality explores how the psyche, which you are, creates the reality you encounter. Hi. You found the essence of reality. We explore life here as in the nature of your consciousness and how life actually works. Religion creates its own concocted truth, having nothing to do with reality, and science doesn't cover it either. Indeed, both of them actually hide life's real flow. You create your life's qualities. No God does, no external power source does, you do. To see how, stay tuned now and come back again. We've got lots to cover. This clip looks at consciousness with a focus on thought. You think all of the time. Ideas come to mind about what you're doing. Sometimes they just pop into your attention, have nothing to do with what you're doing. What is a thought? What is the nature and purpose of thinking? Let's explore that. Tom Nehrer here, Exploring Consciousness. These insights draw from my website, my books, and many talks to open-minded groups. I first recognized the oneness of things in a fleeting mystic experience years ago, but to see that oneness clearly, it took me years to scrape away old, flawed beliefs. My inner journey led to what I call clear awareness, seeing how life works without a veil of beliefs to distort it. You can improve your life, your health, relationship, success by delving into the deeper mind. There, within, you can find and change inner roots to outer problems. For now though, integral part of the journey, let's look right straight at your consciousness. That quality of being is nowhere more evident than in your thoughts. What are you doing when you're thinking? For something you've been doing as long as you can remember, you probably haven't thought much about it. Like looking or breathing, you just do it. But to understand what you are, you need to understand what thinking is all about. You perceive the world directly through a set of senses, sight, hearing, touch, and so forth. But what you perceive around you, objects, people, conditions, nature, movement, and so forth, all these things enter your attention, your awareness continuously through those senses. But you, the conscious self which you are, you have to make some sense of them. What are the objects? Who are the people? What's happening? And what does it mean to you? When you do that, moment after moment through the day, you very quickly run your perception through your belief system. Everything you encounter and evaluate gets interpreted through a large store of information you hold within your subconscious. And that store of accepted ideas you hold and reference with each glance has accumulated from the earliest times in infancy through childhood and onwards. So perception is highly influenced by your belief system. Indeed, what you make of any situation depends on your belief system. A reality exists around you without thought, without needing you to make much sense of it. But when you look around, you do apply names to things you see. A painting on the wall, a cabinet, bushes, grass, flowers. So thoughts can be seen as labels, names applied to things within the mind. Thoughts can represent actions as well, things happening around you. So thoughts are mental reflections, symbols held in mind that refer to real things. But if I show you pictures of objects, not real things mind you, just images, that can elicit thoughts too. Look here. Okay, So both real things and appearances of things can prompt thoughts. How about this? I'll just name a few things. Ice cream, rain, your favorite song, pain, a fish. A spoken word can conjure up a thought, simply a symbol in language of a real thing. So thoughts can be tied to things, to actions, and even to intangibles, like musical phrases and feelings. Music can stir many thoughts within your mind. Personal feelings can certainly prompt specific thoughts, positive or negative, depending on the emotion. So, what are thoughts? Basically, thoughts in mind are mental representations of real things, pictures of things, or simply imagined things. Hold on a minute. What about a unicorn or leprechaun? They never ever existed, yet you can think of them. Or a god. Some god or other may seem very real to you, but not a single one ever existed. Yet you can think about such things that aren't real and don't exist. What about your last birthday? Or the presents you'll buy next Christmas? Things that don't exist anymore, or might later. Thoughts then, thoughts are mental images, symbolic representations of tangible things and even intangibles, feelings, colors, hopes, false ideas of things that do exist, did or may eventually, or never did and never will. Thoughts can come as responses to sensory encounter, to images that represent them, or just things pulled up from your subconscious store. Now here's the big question we come to. Who is the thinker? Who is it indeed? What is it that formulates in those words in mind that represent objects or intangibles? Thoughts are pretty clear, a sort of interface between the real and imagined and, well, between the world out there and what? And you. But what are you? A human? A body? Or a mind that finds itself within that body? What is the thinker? What are you? The real difficulty is that whatever you conclude as an answer to that, a definition of your own nature, whatever it is, rides your beliefs and accepted ideas as to reality. So explaining consciousness and reality only brings up thoughts in your own mind, like religion and science try to do. But your conclusion doesn't depend on what actually is. It depends on old beliefs that underlie your thinking. So my purpose here, in this and other clips, is to get you to perceive your own existence without thoughts to distort your awareness. What do you think about that? Everything you encounter and evaluate gets interpreted through a large store of information you hold within your subconscious. Perception is highly influenced by your belief system. Indeed, what you make of any situation depends on your belief system. Whatever you conclude as a definition of your own nature doesn't depend on what actually is. It depends on old beliefs that underlie your thinking. My purpose here in this and other clips is to get you to perceive your own existence without thoughts to distort your awareness.